Hello, and thank you guys so much for joining us from all the different time zones we're in tonight. We're going to talk about Founders Day just a little bit. And the first thing to note is that a big change from communications this year is that Founders Day is no longer styled with an apostrophe. We're taking that after the usage of President's Day. And it is a day about the founders rather than belonging to the founders. So please, in your social media, in your messaging, in your emails, please be sure to make sure that you don't use the apostrophe moving forward. So that's just a great change. You know, Jackie's doing such an amazing job at communications. Hi, Kirsten, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's Robin joining us. My name is Heather Watson. I'm an alumna of Transylvania University. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm the National Alumna Chapter Specialist for the Beta area. And Tony?
Hi, I'm Tony Sayers. I graduated from Old Dominion University, and I am the National Alumni Chapter Chairwoman.
Thank you so much. So tonight we are going to be talking about the history, ways to celebrate, and your ritual and resource needs for Founders Day. A little bit about the history of Founders Day, and of course we all know this. On January 4th, 1852, Mary DuPont Lyons, Mary Myrick Daniel, and Martha Hardaway Redding met to lay the groundwork for the Philomathian Society at Wesleyan College in Macon, Georgia. Over the next 2 months, the three founders gathered additional members, created a constitution, devised an initiation service, and adopted both secret and open mottos. March the 4th, 1852 marks the day when the Philomathian Society was introduced to the Wesleyan campus and is the date that FIMU observes as our Founders Day. And just looking here, collegiate and alumni chapters choose to celebrate Founders Day in a variety of ways, and there's absolutely no right or wrong way to celebrate our founding. Many collegiate and alumni chapters host annual Founders Day events. These are often a highlight of the year for our chapters and all the attendees. There's an open ritual service you can utilize if you wish to invite non-members, or you can opt to use the closed ritual service if only members will be in attendance. And this year we thought that we would do a little something different with this portion of the presentation, and we would open the floor to our friends on this chat tonight and see what you guys are doing for your Founders Day celebrations. Tony, you're making ribbons right now.
I am making ribbons. I have my grosgrain ribbon, and I'm trying to cut it into the correct length. I got my measuring tape and my little scissors. So
your pink measuring tape makes it more precise, obviously.
I know, and really you can't tell, but this is grosgrain. I also have some satin. So I could go on and talk about what my chapter Tidewater's doing, but I'll let somebody else go first, because otherwise I'll dominate the conversation.
Once again, Sam Houston. Some very, very good baseball programs. Kansas State. They've already knocked off highly ranked teams who played over Arkansas earlier this season.
Oh, geez, Stan. I think I just cut right in front of that guy.
Uh-oh. Somebody's got their speaker on.
I think it's Karen Roberts.
Yeah.
I'll talk about what we're doing in Seattle. The picture on the bottom right is of the Seattle Founders Day last year, and we celebrate with the Eta Beta chapter, which is our heart-to-heart chapter. And we are doing a Founders Day tea in this same room on campus this year. And we always include, the regular Founders Day ritual, the open service, and the memorial service. Unfortunately, we do have 3 women that passed away this year. And then we celebrate anniversaries, and I'm getting my 50 year this year.
Yay.
Good for you.
Yay.
Yay.
And one thing that the Alumni chapter is doing this year in conjunction with Founders Day is we are collecting clothing, accessories, and shoes to donate to the Seattle Children's Bargain Boutique thrift store to get
I love
and
that.
we'll get credit for that. And so hopefully our collegians are participating as well. They've been notified if they've got anything they want to donate that they will we can take their stuff too. So hopefully that will be very successful. And we usually have both an alumni and 1 or 2 collegiate speakers as well. So it's always a lot of fun.
That's a big group of people there.
Yeah, so that one, it was about 130 last year, and we're hoping we'll be closer to 150 this year, but we'll see. Well,
Wow.
Madison,
That includes
It was-
the collegiates, right?
that included the collegiate chapter.
That's nice.
yes. Madison, it looks like you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I
If
got.
you want to,
I feel like that's a tough act to follow. I'm with Detroit, and we're a much smaller chapter, so realistically, we expect like half dozen. But we're really excited this year because our Founders Day ceremony is going to be at a member's house, so we're able to partake in the closed Founders Day ritual. So we're really excited
love
about that. I know I'm excited about that. We're just gonna have a little luncheon at the house and do formal business meeting and elections. So a lot going on.
and Brooke, I think you had your hand raised.
Yeah, my camera's off because the lights are off. My kids are sleeping. But the Sinlaw, Louisiana alumni chapter is actually co-hosting a Founders Day event with our Heart to Heart chapter here in Natchitoches,
that.
Louisiana. So we invited all active members, alumni members, and the daughters of those alumni to join us for a day to celebrate and honor our founders. So it's just going to be a day of sisterhood and getting to know other alumni and active members. It's going to be so fun.
Wonderful. Carolyn, I think you raised your hand.
Yes. I have the pleasure of being Southern California Council of FIMU president this year. So we're doing a joint service with our Southern California alumni chapters and Ada New Collegiate chapter. But we've got a wrinkle. The San Diego ladies don't really want to drive up 2.5 hours to get to the Ada Delta chapter house at UCLA. So we're going to Zoom together for the portions of the celebration that we're doing together, including presenting awards, installing the new officers for Southern California Council. And we also have Kristen Tofanelli from Foundation joining us for a discussion of what's new on the national level. So it's a full morning from 10:30 to 2:30, and we're catered by a past president of Ada New Collegiate chapter.
That.
Carolyn, can you tell everybody what the Southern California Council is? Because I think it's unique.
We are unique. It's been around since about 1950. It is composed of every collegiate and alumni chapter in Southern California. So when I was a collegian, we had 10 Southern California collegiate alumni chapters and only 1 collegiate chapter at UCLA, Ada Delta. We still have the house, but the chapter's been closed for decades. So the purpose of Southern California Council is to coordinate activities and to provide support for our collegiate chapters.
Are there any collegiate chapters in California?
Only 5.
That's
There's
pretty good.
Ada New at Cal State Northridge Eta Zeta at Fresno is our oldest at 1951 chartering. Eta Xi at Cal State Stanislaus, Eta Rho at Sacramento State, and Eta Mu at UC Merced. Excuse me, Eta Sigma at UC Merced. Eta Mu is a closed chapter that was at UC Davis.
Wow.
Wow. So I'll add something here. We are working on in Lexington, Kentucky, getting the Bluegrass Alumni chapter back up and running. That's been my pet project for the year, as Tony and Nancy know. That's where I went to school, and that's where a lot of my chapter sisters still live. And we're doing a small tea at a local tea room this year with the idea that, because we're just reorganizing, just getting our chapter officers elected for the upcoming year. So what we're hoping to do is moving forward, turn that into a larger event with, there are two collegiate chapters in Lexington, and one in very nearby at Georgetown College. So what we're hoping to do is expand that into more of a foundation fundraiser, a ritual service. This year, going to the tea room is what we can handle. And so we're excited for that, to get that moving forward. Here in Louisville, the Louisville Alumni chapter is doing a dinner. It's a lot of dinner club meetings, and that works very well for that chapter. So I think it's very interesting to see just an hour apart, those two chapters doing something different for what works for each group. Does anyone else have any celebrations to speak about?
Sure. This is Megan. Here in Nashville, the Theta chapter at Belmont is hosting us on Founders Day for an open Founders Day ceremony, so that the FIs can join us as well.
Love that. That's such a special chapter.
They're the best.
I was an advisor for that group years ago. They are just some really great women there. Anyone else?
Well, this is Esther Marie Carmichael, and we're in the Tucson, Arizona chapter. And we're having our Founders Day Saturday.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be we're going to do an open ceremony. It is in Carol's home. And we do have, our agenda is going to include the formal election that we have already selected some officers, installation. We have some chapter bylaws that we're going to approve. And we have a memorial. We have a sister who passed. And so we made these little special tags in her memory. Can you see it?
Oh, nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I was looking for a little bigger heart, but I couldn't find one. And there's a pin on the back, so they can pin it on their shirt. And then for the outgoing, this is for the outgoing officers, we have these little find me plates that we're going to give them.
Those are
There's
great.
Ceramic, for butter dish or whatever you want to use it for. And I think I don't think.
We have 12 coming.
Yeah, we have 12. We have, I think, 12 coming. Oh, and we are going to award a 50-year anniversary. And we are going to announce that we have a 75-year celebration coming up next year.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And so we got to get prepared for it.
Absolutely.
It's pretty special.
Do we have anyone else that wants to talk about their Founders Day celebrations?
I'll share.
Yay, Robin.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Robin Heyer. I'm in Montgomery County, Maryland, and our chapter is a little bit having a rebuilding time. So we are going to do Founders Day with American University in DC, which I love because that's my chapter. And it's not our heart to heart because that's DC's heart to heart. So we'll also be with the advisory board is made up of Northern Virginia and DC, and hopefully some new Montgomery County women have joined. So we'll have them as well. But we're doing it after their initiation. So we'll have new sisters with us as well, which is nice. I think it's the day after.
Early initiation.
Yeah. So it's a little later in the month than normal, which is kind of strange, but it's okay. and so I think it's exciting that even though, I heard somebody else say they're a small chapter, using our resources and also helping out the collegiates is kind of a nice way to do it, even when we're not as large as, we would like to be. But again, it's rebuilding time. So
Absolutely. And making both your alumni and collegiate members feel special is so much
yes.
more important than thinking about how big your chapter is or what you
Yes.
are or aren't doing.
And
To me, go ahead, Robin.
I was just to say, and also a lot of these sisters may be staying in the area, and most people, if they move to Montgomery County, then they'll have alumni faces and that they're familiar with, and hopefully join the alumni chapter as young graduates.
Right.
That's also a nice little recruiting tool, doing that this time of year.
Tony and I were just talking about how important it is to capture the new alumni and get them involved.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Hi, it's Lisa
Hi,
Lang,
lady.
North Central Ohio Alumni Chapter. We are planning our Founders Day with Rho Kappa, Kent State University. It's really turned into a tradition for us to do that. Last year was the first year we had it in their house because it was the 10th anniversary, and they really enjoyed having it in the house and hosting. So once again, they're going to be hosting it again in the house, and we're planning to have like a little tea party. So we're excited about that.
Great.
Doing the open founders ceremony and the memorial service and building relationships with our collegians.
Are you doing the open because there might be FIs there, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's everyone that wants to share.
Hi, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. This is Jennifer Housel. I'm the St. Louis Alumni Chapter. Sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm driving. I was a little late because I was finishing up a Bible study. I apologize. We've got two opportunities to celebrate Founders Day. One is with our collegiate chapter this Sunday. They're doing a closed ceremony and holding their FBM for the month. And one of the things that they are doing for us, our alumni chapter had a rough year last year. We lost 5 members. So they are also
So sorry.
doing a memorial service in honor of those members at their collegiate Founders Day. And we're doing the closed Founders Day ceremony together. With both the collegiate chapter president and myself doing the ceremony as written. And then our alumni chapter is doing a luncheon the following Saturday and doing the Founders Day ceremony. Some of our older members are not comfortable with driving downtown St. Louis where the collegiate chapter is. And so we tend to hold a event ourselves as well, and so that will be held on that Saturday. Unfortunately, I'll miss because it's Mom's Weekend for my little Phi Mu in Arkansas. So
That's special.
That is special.
And Brittany.
Hi, ladies. Good evening,
Hi.
everyone. I'm Brittany Cullen. I am the Alumni Secretary and Founders Day Planner for the Houston Alumni Chapter. And we actually have 2 collegiate chapters here in Houston. And we are actually hosting ours at Churrasco's at the end of March, actually, because we have a huge Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and a lot of our ladies are involved in volunteering and helping with that. So it's kind of hard to catch them on our actual Founders Day or close there. So we, in deference to them, we are doing at the end of March. And we also have some 50-year and 70, I think we have at least 1 or 2 75-year. So we are working on doing something a little special for them. And actually this year is my 25-year with Find You, which I had not occurred to me until we were in our exec meeting the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm one of the 25.
Congrats.
So thank you. I was like, I don't feel old enough to be 25 years in Find You, but sure. We are still in process. We would like to get some little gifts for everybody. I have a million ideas, and I just have to get my treasurer to let loose of a little bit of the funds, and we'll see what we come up with. I'm planning on doing some sort of little goodie bags for everybody. We have a set menu with a couple of three different options, and I did ask about vegetarian option because I also coordinate for my full-time job as well for some of our events. And that's a question I get a lot. So I wanted to make sure that that was taken care of. And I know that our Houston Christian University, I believe some of those current chapter members are planning to come. And I also know one of my 50-year members has invited as many of her sorority sisters from that year as can come. So I'm really excited for her. She was one of my advisors and is still one of my really good friends. So I'm very excited for her that she is basically going to have a little girls weekend for this Founders Day weekend. So I'm pretty excited about that. So this is actually a new venue for us. We usually do it at an Italian restaurant. So I am curious to see how it works out and see if we end up changing it again next year. But yeah, so last year we had kind of a small group. I think this year we're gonna have a lot bigger group. So I'm excited about that.
It sounds like a big celebration.
I hope so. That's the plan. I do like to throw a good party. I just hosted 130 for my work party at the beginning of February. So we can't go that big because we don't have space. And we will also be doing the open ceremony just because it's in our restaurant. So, and, just for, safety's sake and that kind of thing, we will be doing the open ceremony as well. So,
yeah. Great.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing your celebrations. They all sound amazing. And I do just absolutely love all the different ways we're honoring our sisterhood. Tony, I'm going to turn the next few slides over to you.
All right. So milestone anniversary. So many of the chapters, as we heard, have used Founders Day also to celebrate anniversaries for their members, as well as memorial services. But we are past a deadline to get badges for anniversaries and the certificates, although you can download those from the resource hub. So if you haven't done your certificates yet for your milestone anniversaries, you can go to the resource hub and download those and print them yourself. But for next year, your deadline is February 15th to get those badges and certificates. All right. And rituals. So the at convention 2024 at Disney, we did vote to have some changes, and they have not yet printed the new ritual book. So we're not to use the old rituals. There are on the resource hub the correct open and close ceremonies that you can use, or not can, you should use those. They are available on the resource hub. So make sure you go to there and not use the old ritual book. So this is old ritual book. No. So next, resource needed. We still need that white tablecloth. And I have brought some props. So 3 lighted white candles. You can use, if you're allowed, 3 actual candles, or depending on where you are, we use the little tea lights for your 3 lighted candles. A vase of carnation, rose-colored carnations. So I do have carnations here. These are not real, but you can use fresh ones like Carolyn Monsanto uses. Silver bowl. So we have a silver bowl that we use each year. And the Founders Day ribbons, you want to make sure you give those to your attendees. And I have cut some ribbons. The measurements are noted here. You can use either grosgrain or the satin ribbons. You need white and rose. Dimensions are noted there, and this is to be given to each attendee. We also do give each attendee a fresh rose-colored carnation. Our chapter always has used Founder Day's pennies, and I'm not even sure, and I have to double check on that, if we can still use Founders Day pennies. So those are your prompts.
It's in
Yes, we
nature.
can. That was not changed last summer.
The Founders Day pennies?
Right. You can either use pennies or what's easier, particularly for a large group, is the quatrefoil shaped token,
Yeah, which is what
cut
we
out of
want.
construction paper.
Yes, and that's what we made. They are red, although maybe it's rose color and they,
Fuchsia. Hot pink.
Let's
Yeah.
not confuse everybody.
Pink.
Got a lot going on.
and these are, I'm positive, from the 70s. I have the original container of the Founders Day penny. So I keep using the same ones over and over because they're that special. And I know they've touched so many hands over the years. So to me, you know, that's special. And questions, any questions on what we reviewed tonight or what you need to know to host your Founders Day?
Really quickly, I will add that if you're keeping an eye on the chat,
Yes.
Megan Potratz did add what they're doing in Denver. But she says she was not able, she's eating dinner and doesn't feel great, so she wasn't able to share with us on video. But they're having a luncheon at a local restaurant, performing the open ceremony, elections, officer installation, and celebrating Foundation Day of Giving. Cindy Goldman, who is a FIMU Foundation trustee, will be there. So that's what we're doing in Denver. Just wanted to pop in and share that. Like I said, Megan wasn't able to talk with us, so I had to make sure we heard that. And let's get back to opening the floor for questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
A presenter, what, if any, items or gifts you giving to your attendees? Are you giving them any little special takeaways or
Yeah, we already told you.
Carnation.
Yes,
No, I meant a little
carnations.
badge.
And their little badge. We're giving them a little badge.
I was thinking about making bookmarkers of the creed and laminating them as a gift to people. So I was just trying to find special things to give to our attendees. Yes, something like that.
What is that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've done bookmarks in the past as well.
Mhm.
A few of the ideas that we talked about at our exec meeting, sorry, I'm also eating, that's why I keep turning my camera off. We talked about little like travel nail files that say FIMU. Of course, the FIMU pens. And also we had FIMU Post-it notes that I still use to this day. That we actually did at, I think my current president, she did those for us in the past at like Vistaprint. And they're really cute. They're just real basic. They're pink around the edge and they just say FIMU at the top. And I use them all the time. So we kind of tossed around ideas about that. We also found little wooden lions at Hobby Lobby. And we thought about maybe like painting
Thank you,
Founders
Carter.
Day 2025 on the back.
Thank
And
you,
I
Carter.
suggested that we could put magnets on the back, so you could put them on like a fridge or something, or we could do a loop so that people could hang them on the wall or something, or use them as an ornament on a Christmas tree or whatever they want to do. So we have not quite decided yet, but those are some of the ideas we had talked about.
It
Good
would be
idea.
so great if we could start some sort, maybe on the Facebook group for alumni chapter officers, if we could start some sort of idea share with this so that, Tony, if you come up with a Canva file or PDF of the
Yes.
bookmark, that we could share those so we're not all reinventing the wheel.
Exactly.
Another place to put that is in the Quatrefoil Shopping Facebook group.
Oh, I didn't know
Anytime
that
I find-
existed.
Oh, yes.
Well, that existed.
Anytime I find
Oh.
something, I will post on there, and I found things there that I've been able to then go and find and buy.
Like that clock on your wall.
Oh,
Exactly.
Oh my, I need to be
yeah,
in this
I'll show
group,
you one of the
please.
ladies going to
You love having a
Louisiana.
lovely Quatrefoil mill there.
It looks like in the meeting chat, Megan from Denver also said that last year she made 3 chocolate stars in white, pink, and dark pink as favors. And then they also had a small trinket with candy. So that's way out of my level of expertise, but that sounds amazing. And so there's a Quatrefoil shopping group on Facebook, and I definitely making a note to join that.
I would love to have the source for Tucson's Quatrefoil dishes, trays.
Yes, those are cute.
And Louisiana.
Well,
Find them anymore.
our event is Saturday. I need to get to Hobby Lobby and get some shopping done.
I found these last year at Office Depot.
Oh.
And they're Post-it notes. And I bought all the because they were clear. Yes, these were clearanced out.
I have Quatrefoil Post-it notes.
Yeah, but something like that would be really cute.
But they're turquoise. I didn't have any pink.
Or planning ahead at Midnight Madness convention.
Yes. Okay, do we have any more questions?
No question, but a comment to Tony's bookmark, because Gretchen and I were working on those. You might consider just punching a hole at the top and putting ribbon, like pink ribbon, or we've used black and gold for certain ones. Only because sometimes the laminate gets more expensive, but depending on how many you're making. And it can kind of be thick in a book. And the paper, while it's not as lasting, also it kind of makes for a better bookmark a little bit.
Okay.
And then the ribbon's kind of cute.
Good idea. I know I don't have very long to get that figured out, but I like that idea.
If you go to print, like Staples will print and everything, and you can chop them up. They could just use heavier stock paper.
Cardstock is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cardstock with a little ribbon. I'll do that.
Another thing we did for bookmarks one year was that we used a thicker ribbon that was kind of sheer, and we used letter beads to spell out FIMU and did like pink and white beads on it. So that's also really cute. So you could make it like the ribbon the length of the book maybe, and then like the beads like go, you can move the beads either on top or below.
I have that.
Well, there you go. Then you don't have to go anywhere because you've got the ribbons. And if you have letter beads and spell out FIMU, you're all set.
Hey,
and that
Tony,
I use that
if you need a template, I have an old school bookmark with the creed on it from FIMU from Carnation Collection that I can scan in and send to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Please.
Will do.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Can't buy these.
My only other thought is maybe on the alumni officer page, we could start an album of those items that we make as call it like Founders Day favors or something. And you could then share it that way since we're all probably on that and it'd be easy to find.
That's a great idea, Robin. Thank you.
You could put last year's name tag and that.
Last year, we actually made the Quatrefoil paper cardstock name tag, and we put the number of years each person had been a FIMU on it, and it was really fun for them to walk around and see how many years they had been a FIMU.
That's nice.
our tradition has been to call the roll during the donation of the pennies, and we'd call the roll in initiation date order.
Ooh.
Oh, oh,
And
that's interesting.
I have a consolidated Southern California database of 2,000, 3,000 sisters. So I can look up everybody's, and it's just automatic to put them in initiation date order, starting with our 75-year pin recipient this year.
Carolyn, you are so on the ball. You're just amazing.
That 75-year pin has diamonds on each end of the quadrifoil.
I enjoy doing it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I can hear your passion for it. It's really great.
It's your bedtime.
I'm done.
Okay. Well, if we don't have anything else, then I will let those of us on the East Coast go to bed. And those of you who are still having dinner or going to other meetings, do that. Thank you guys so much for your time and your great ideas. Don't forget, no apostrophe this year on your messaging. And happy Founders Day to everyone. And let's all get ready for FIMU Day of Giving.